what's going on, guys? Good to see you. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and all the great stuff. Happy holidays. Demon Driver here. Yes, you saw it right. The screen image, or the main image for this video is right. I am building the A350, kind of on a dare from this amazing German scratch builder from Deutschland. This guy who built an amazing A350 about 4 or 5 years ago. Probably, in my opinion, he built it, finished it, maidened it. I think it's one of the best RC airliners I've ever seen. This guy. That guy's amazing. My nickname for him is the Viper. He's on rcforums.de. It's a German version of RC groups, and he's on there. And on one of the forums and on one of the threads, we were talking back and forth in German and typing in English and German, and he kind of said to me, "Hey, Chris, why don't you give the A350 a shot?" And I said, "You know what? You did such a great job with yours. If I can get half as good, I'll be sitting pretty." So I accepted his challenge. Now I'm building an A350 Lufthansa, and I'm also, by my friend Brian Silverman's suggestion, I'm going to do Air Vietnam, or Vietnam Airlines, and SAS. I'm going to do those two. Upon his suggestion, along with the Lufthansa. And I'm going to keep the Lufthansa for myself and probably sell the other two after they're finished, or after I've maidened them and haven't destroyed them, God forbid. So there's another builder who built an A350 and finished it, a guy in Singapore, an amazing scratch builder, and here is that plane. That guy is great. He has the build thread on RC Groups, and he did an amazing job. If I can find the link to Viper's Airbus Colors A350. This hobby is all about all of us in the community working together. That's what it's all about, man. There ain't no who's the best or who's the worst. It's just, do you have fun? Do you enjoy the hobby? Do you fly what you build? And at the end of the day, it's about having fun and getting out there and flying and building. And for this video, I'm going to give a little, it's going to be a rather quick build video, but I'm going to show you how I come up with an idea to build an airliner, and then kind of the quick stages of how I start a build. And that's what this build video is the preliminary quick start off for the A350 build, three of them, A350 900s. Lufthansa, Air Vietnam, and SAS. So let's get to it. I'm going to get out of this insane asylum because it's jammed. There's probably 12 airliners in here right now and probably 2 or 3 warbirds. So it's too jam-packed to start anything in here right now. And that's one of the reasons the 777 build is slowed, because I have to clear this whole space out in order to start assembling that plane, all 3 of them, to start the taxi tests and the EDF tests. I have to clean this space out. I have 3 other garages. On top of this 2-car garage, I have 3 other garages packed with airplanes. I have almost 250, 260 RC airplanes and probably 50 or 60 RC airliners. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? But it's true. So we're going to get to my plan drawing garage where I lay out all the plans, and that's what we're going to do for this next stage. I'm going to show you the hand-drawn plans of the A350. We're going to take them, look at them, and then I'm going to start to draw in the lines and go from the sketch to the actual, hard line, true plan, as opposed to the sketch, and go to the hard copy, and then start to make hot wire stencils, then start to hot wire the nose section, tail section, make the wings, make other parts of these A350s, okay? And then even start to sand. And that's all going to be in this video, okay? Let's get rocking. This Demon Driver, back to building, man. When it gets cold here in South Carolina, I start building. Let's go. All right, that's more like it. An 8-foot, 4-inch A350-900 hand-drawn plans, side view profile. Side view profile of this bird. Yes, indeed. Hand-drawn on tracing paper so that I can overlay the plans, the top view, front-on view, and then match them all as I stack them. I can match fuselage height, engine placement, so that every single bit of detail matches, so that one set of plans doesn't mismatch the other set. You understand what I'm saying? In my opinion, the biggest difference between the A350-900 and obviously the 787 model is the thinner tail right in here, in this area. It thins out a lot more, and the vertical rudder, vertical tail is actually smaller. It's a small vertical tail for this airplane, for this design overall, in my opinion. The nose of the 787 and A350 are rather similar. Some similarities. But in many ways, the A350 nose is very much almost the same as the A220 nose. It's very weird. Top-down view of the A350-900. Well, here we are. Tail section. Elevator stabilizer. Wing. Engine. Nose. Just about 100-inch wingspan. Basically the same, almost a little shorter than the fuselage length. So it's 8 feet 4 inches length of fuselage, and I think the wingspan is like 8 feet 2 inches or some crap like that. So half head-on view. I do a half head-on view to start out with, in order to save space and to save paper. And then when I need it, I fold it over, duplicate both halves, and then I have both halves, right and left. To use these French curves, I got a pen, and I'm going to go over the pencil line of my plans that I've drawn in, these A350 plans, and I'm going to match the curves the best I can with these French curves to the best of my ability, which, you know, can only do so much. All right, I would say that's pretty close right there. So I take the pen and I physically draw the line in. All right, there we go. Okay, that line is in. Now we're starting to get down near the flight deck and the flight deck windows. So let's go ahead and match that. I use a smaller French curve. See what I'm doing? Use the pen. There we go. Right down to there. Boom. Perfect. I take my shoes off because I don't want to scruff up the plans. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, French curves are definitely a good investment when scratch building. All right, there we go. I'll match that line right there. Right there. Look at that. Boom. Right there. Look at that. Top radome, nose radome, very, very front end of the nose radome. All right, let's keep moving here. Let's keep moving. All right. Gotta match this perfectly, because if you don't, it'll be screwed up. You gotta match it perfectly, and you use different parts of the French curve to do that. And after a while, you get real good at it. You start to really... There we go. Look at that. There we go. Oh, that bit matches that perfectly. Just like that. Oh, that's perfect. Print. Save and print. Look at that, man. Perfect. Matches that perfect. And then we got a little gradual right there. And I'll put a mark where the curve begins. From straight line to curve, I put a mark there. That's where the upper curve starts into the nose. And then we go ahead and we do that. Go ahead and draw that line in. Beautiful. All right, let's do the flight deck windows. Let's get that upper portion there. Boom. Let's draw that back in, because it's all curved. They're all pretty much curved. Everything up there is hand-drawn A350 nose section. we had pencil, then we went over it with pen, and that's what we get. And now from that, I can make a hot wire stencil. I make the master for the hot wire stencil, and then I use that to transfer that to the thick cardboard that I will actually make the cardboard stencil out of. Okay, and that will be that'll be in the next video. See, and there you go. There's my A350 stencil outline that I can lay on the cardboard and then make an imprint for hot wiring. Okay, now I have my A350 nose side section or side profile. I'm going to take this master and put it on the cardboard, and we're going to make a stencil for it. All right, so I take the stencil, the tracing paper stencil, place it down on a piece of relatively thick cardboard. For me, I love this because it's so accurate, and I'm knowing it's all good. The end result is flying. So I take this metal, like a metal screwdriver bit with a tiny Phillips head, and it's got a very sharp end, but kind of rounded. And I take it and I press. I go ahead and I press into the line, into the outline of the A350 nose section, and I actually generate a facsimile straight onto the cardboard. And I'm really getting rid of like 2 or 3 steps. Some people talk about using transfer film and all this kind of stuff. I tried it. It just doesn't work as well. Use the pen in the line, and I have an A350 hot wire nose side stencil. All I have to do now is take an X-Acto knife and cut it out. X-Acto knife, and it's time to start cutting. Always being careful and mindful of your fingers at all times. Actually, for the straight cuts, I can just simply use a regular box cutter knife, or you know, your standard 1/4-inch blade, or whatever the hell you want to call it. For the straight lines, you can do that, but when you start to curve and you start to get into curving, you want to use the X-Acto because it's better on curves. Go ahead and let's push out our A350 nose stencil. There you go, look at that. Perfect. All I have to do is lay that down on the cardboard again and just trace around it and cut out the right side or left side. Then we do the same thing with the top and then the round circumference cross-section of the fuse tube. It's that simple. And then from there, we go on to hot wiring. I have all 5 hot wire stencils, cardboard hot wire stencils for the nose of our A350. The next step, we'll do the tail, but let's go ahead and let's hot wire out a nose section and get that done just to show you how straightforward and easy it is. Alright, big block of styrofoam, so you know what's coming up next, right? You know what's about to happen. Alright, big block of styrofoam. We have our A350 nose sections. Yeah, it's gonna be that time in a couple minutes. Alright, what we do is we take our big block of white styrofoam, which is incredibly light for the size. This is like a big, I swear to God, if you drop this off like the Sears Tower, you could kill somebody with it. Or I don't know, maybe it would just like float and not do anything, or just like roll and fly off with the wind or some nonsense, I don't know. I'm trying to be a little bit too scientific here. Okay. As you can see with the hot wire stencil, it's the A350 nose top-down view. Top-down stencil. Top through. See the holes? The holes are there for a reason. They're called peg holes. I don't know if I came up with this, but what I do now, in order to attach the hot wire stencil to the styrofoam, I take what I call pegs, which are really just old stems from paintbrushes, and I line them up and stick them into the styrofoam. Just like that. See? Every time I film, I swear to God, every time I film in the backyard, this cat Yuki shows up. Meow. See? She shows up every time. I don't know what it is. She's standing behind the camera. Stay over there. God, this cat, it's weird, man. Every time I turn this camera on, or have the head cam on, she shows up. If I don't have it on, she ain't nowhere to be seen. Don't ask. Okay, see what I'm doing? Alright. Line it up, do the same thing on this side. It has saved so much time by using the pegs. I have to do the quotation mark when I say that. No, I don't. I'm just being irritating. Sorry. But I peg it up. Right? Just like that. And now, hot wiring time. Sometimes I am not in the mood to hot wire. Sometimes I hate hot wiring. But you know what? With the pegs, it makes it so much easier. With a good respirator, all aspect respirator, and the pegs and a good hot wire, you can't beat it. Let's start. A350 nose section. Let's get rocking. Time to start hot wiring. What does that mean? Respirator on. I swear to God, this cat. I'm sorry. She's jumping around and stuff. Every time I turn that camera on, this cat is goofing off, man. And I try to keep her out of the backyard, but she's a cat. She's gonna get in. Yuki, stop it. Stop crawling around on stuff. Sorry. Okay, respirator on. Hot wire on. But make sure the hot wire is on the proper setting. That's very important. Okay, proper setting. Hot wire on. Let's leave smoke. Smoke. Hot wire's on. Alright, we take our A350 nose section top down and we begin. Actually, I need to put my headlamp on so I can see what I'm doing. It's nighttime, and I don't have that cat's eyesight, so I have to light things up. Okay, here we go. This is so much easier than 3D printing, I swear to God. It's more fun. I mean, I understand 3D printing and I respect it, but God almighty. You just press a button and the thing makes your piece and then you gotta glue it all together. But I mean, you know, to each his own, and I respect that. To each his own, there's nothing wrong with that. At the end of the day, you build the way you want. There you are, huh? I'm nice and cleanly cut. Cat and I got dog barking. Alright, there we go. Do the other side. Wires on, respirator on. Here we go, let's rock. This is so much faster. Tonight I can have this nose completely sanded. Tonight. That's at least 3 times the speed of a 3D printer.
And you're just riding the wire. You're riding the wire, guys. And how this works is like a spindle. You spin it on its axis, right there. The center peg, you spin it. Okay? You pick a point, and you spin it on the axis.
There's lasers, baby. It's laser time. Looking at. All right, what I've got going on here is I have the DeWalt laser level crosshair on the nose section of the A350. And the reason is I take a black pen, right? I take my marker pen and I draw the center line, this what I call the center circumference line, into the A350 nose section. You don't want to look at the laser because that'll mess up my eyesight. Position this properly because this is important to get this line in for the sanding. So I take the marker and gently draw the line in. Alright, I got the top line now. I roll it over on its side. I don't want to get hit by that laser, man. Shut this off. Alright, let me show you what I did. See what I did? I created my do not sand lines, meaning I can sand these corners rounded, but I can't sand that center line because that'll ruin it. That'll ruin the shape. Understand? Okay. All right, next step. We begin to sand our Lufthansa A350 nose section. Let's get rocking. All right, guys, we're in the work shed, and we're going to start the process of sanding and shaping our A350 nose section. Right here is a nose section to a Caravelle that I'm building. Almost an 8-foot Caravelle, 3 of them. Here's a nose section to the Caravelle. Here's the tail section to that Caravelle. There's another Caravelle nose section right here. Here's the 777-900 engines for either, I think this is for the Lufthansa 9X, I think. So these have got to be, I got to finish sanding them, and then I got to harden them, fiberglass them, get them rocking, baby, because those builds are happening. All right, let's get down to business. A trash bag on over me, or like an HVAC, like the white, those suits that you wear sometimes if you're like climbing under a house, but I don't have any of those left. Okay, and it's gotten warm, and once you put that trash bag on, you just start sweating your balls off. So I'm not going to do that, but I got the dust mask on. That's key. So what are we going to do here? What we're going to do is we're going to cut with a razor and start to shape and round out this A350 nose section. Okay, just like we did with this nose section over here. This is a Caravelle nose section. See what I did with the knife? Take the razor, be careful, mindful of your fingers. Take the razor, and I cut on an angle in the corners, very carefully, very methodically, and cut away on an angle. At the end of the day, what matters is that you get the plane you want and you fly it. That's what matters. All right, we're cutting here. We're cutting away, man. We're cutting away bits of styrofoam. Oh yeah. All right, getting close to what we want here. Okay, good so far. Now, next step. The next step. This is very important. I take a 60 grit sanding block. Boom. See that? It's time to make a major mess. This is the disadvantage of building this way as opposed to building with a 3D printer. This is where the 3D printer rocks because you don't have to make this mess. And I get it totally. If you don't necessarily have the skill, the sculpting skill, the 3D printer can do it for you. All right, I get that. That's cool. That's cool. All right, time to make a mess. 60 block, all right? Boom, boom, boom. You've seen me do this before. See how I'm rounding it out? Alright, see what's going on? See that? Did this all in this short amount of time. Now, I start going like this, curving it. For the block. Now I take a 60 grit pad. What am I going to do? Same thing, circumference. Watch. Another good day of this kind of sanding, and this A350 nose section Lufthansa will be done. Then I do the same with the tail section, do the same thing with the engine cells, and even the wing box. Now I'm going to do the same thing I did with the nose. I'm going to do for the tail section of the A350. So in this video, I went ahead and built this A350 nose section, hot wired it, cut it out, made it, all just in this one video. And if you follow the steps, you can do the same thing. There's nothing stopping you. So I pay homage to the builder of the Air Singapore A350 and that great German builder who built the Airbus colors, Airbus factory A350, built it, made it, and he did that like 4 or 5 years ago, way before the A350 even maidened. That is skill, and I'm impressed with that. And I can't tell you his first name because without his permission, but he's an amazing builder, and I call him the Viper, but he's an amazing Deutsche builder from Germany. And yeah, man. If you don't build the plane, you ain't gonna fly it. That's just the reality. I mean, you can knock me for scratch building and say, oh, he's building another plane, oh boy. But guess what? If you don't build that A350, you ain't gonna maiden that A350. If you don't build that 737 MAX 7, you ain't gonna Maiden it. You know what I'm saying? If you don't take that ARF out of the box, or that ready to fly, and charge it up and go to the flight field, you ain't gonna fly. You know what I'm saying? And that's what this hobby's about. It's about flying and enjoying the hobby and having a lot of fun. So this is Demon Driver here, as always, my friends. Thank you for subscribing, and for my friends in Deutschland, auf Wiedersehen, and Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and to everybody in the world, Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas, and God bless. Thank you for being part of everything, and thank you for watching, and I am always grateful, and I'm always at your service. Bye-bye.